actually Megan on why she's been invited to join the adventure tonight. So
Yes.
in the Constitution, it notes a date, right, the day that like the Senate has to sign off. This past year, what happened was people were becoming yeah, sorry. So then, like, everybody on the Constitution when I sure, that's probably
Yeah.
their last meeting. That's the last right. There's last meeting. What do you want to do? So they have a proposal. Okay.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, firsthand knowledge.
Yeah, it's about
Great. Yeah, so that's really fair stuff. Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
of course.
No, I don't think so, just for that part of it. Yeah. Let me pull up the agenda for you. You're the first thing up in general orders. So much that's done. Oh, really fine. And Maddie will be like, Megan is the VP for the church. Here, right? Like, and then we'll have a lovely conversation. They'll vote, and then you can head out. You're also welcome to stay at your open meeting. They're live streamed on YouTube.
Oh, no kidding.
Learn something new every day, my friend. Volunteer. I like that.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back to the Student Senate. We'll begin as always with a prayer in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. I wanted to really pray today about the rising tensions in Ukraine, pray for peace and a resolution to that conflict. So, Lord, lead us from death to life, from falsehood to truth. Lead us from despair to hope and from fear to trust. Let peace fill our hearts, our communities, and our world. Let us dream together, pray together, and work together to build one world of peace and justice for all. Amen. Good. Roll call question today is, what was one of your favorite TV shows growing up?
Daniel Scriven.
Here. I'm not sure. Cyberspace was good.
Nolan Ryan.
Here and SpongeBob.
Abby Donahue.
Here in Gravity Falls.
Colin Murray.
That.
Madeline, you mute your mic.
Daniel Miranda.
I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Daniel Miranda Sarah. Patrick Galligan.
Here on Zoom and Phineas and Ferb.
Annika Barron.
If you're a proxy for a senator, you just say proxy whenever their name is called. I think Annika has a proxy, but if they're not here, that's also chill.
Imani McLean Fro. Maddie Means.
Proxy. And I'm on Zoom. I liked SpongeBob as well.
Emma Exburn. Isabel Karen. Cooper Scholl. Ben Earhart.
President, I like to thank Mr. My parents also introduced me and my siblings to Gilligan's Island.
Abraham Padilla.
Here, Tom and Jerry.
Madeline Kosovic.
I'm here. Sorry about that. I would say Phineas and Ferb.
Mary Griffin here. When I was really little, I loved Max. Kayla Law.
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Christian Yoder.
Here, and my favorite was always SpongeBob.
Brian Gray.
Here, I like to write for the show a lot.
Luke Blazik.
Here on Zoom, and I got to go with Arthur.
Lizzie Martin. Here, Kim Possible. Veronica Slevin. Here in Hannah, Montana. Elizabeth Gonzalez.
Here and also Hannah Montana.
Michael Jacquot.
Here, Thomas the Tank Engine.
Zachary Cortez.
Here, I'd say SpongeBob as well.
Will Kennedy. Martha Castellani. Here.
And I would say the Brady Bunch.
Mary DeVoe.
Here, and when I was really little,
James Brunette.
Here and SpongeBob, but just to give it a tribute, also call out iCarly.
Johnny DeLuca.
Proxy, Phineas and Ferb.
Paul Fuller.
Fresno said Adventure Time, so I'll say Adventure Time.
Jake Flowery.
Jake Lowry is here and he says Storage Wars. Left field. Good choice.
Fabulous. Timothy Gallagher.
Here on Zoom and SpongeBob, definitely.
Maddie Tupi.
here, Chowder.
Thomas Davis.
Here on Zoom, The Amanda Show.
Alan Jomo.
Here and Pat Family.
Madison Neiman. Here in Strawberry Shortcake. Nina Selvin.
The Imagination Movement.
Dave McLaughlin. Caroline Cameron.
Here, I'll say iCarly.
Mabry Webb. David Holmes.
Here, Tom and Jerry.
Daniel Lau.
Here, SpongeBob.
Bo Doyle.
Here, and I think 2 weeks to think about this, and I still didn't come up with a better one. Looney Tunes, like the original Looney Tunes, because that's the first thing I remember watching as a kid.
Great, moving right along. Are there any changes to the minutes from the 26th of January meeting? Abraham.
Yeah, so under Roman numeral 5A20, I don't know if that really helps, where it says, I would point to the student faculty senate, that should say voice summit.
Oh, I see.
Great.
Thank you.
Any other changes to the minutes? Hearing none, they are approved. Moving into executive announcements, quick update. I know we talked about the USPS free test delivery service and the issues that were that residents in Balmer and Johnson Family Hall were having. The university postmaster has been in touch with the postmaster in Indianapolis. Apparently, those two dorms, when they were created, were registered as business addresses and not residential addresses. So that's being corrected. I don't have a timeline on those corrections, but at least the Post Service is aware of them. Other announcements, following up on your resolution, the last time we met regarding COVID testing, Faculty Senate and the CLC have had time to review it. Faculty Senate, I admit, there was no action. Sitting in that committee, I had before me a collection of faculty members and students, each of whom thought the written policy was a different thing, and each of whom were practicing different policies in their classrooms differently. So they couldn't come to a consensus about next steps. I will follow up with Molly Walsh, the faculty senator, going forward. The CLC, however, has made a good action step. I believe the resolution was tabled in that body, pending a meeting between Alan, resolution authors, and Christopher Butt, the assistant to the provost. Jim Butt, sorry. Assistant to the provost, who will have better insight about the legal issues which were discussed here in the Senate. Any questions there? Any points of clarification? Helpful?
Clarify that's on the resolution on COVID soon, not COVID testing.
Oh, yes, I apologize. COVID generally. Alan, any other executive announcements? Okay, great. Moving right along. General orders today, we have an order to amend the Constitution to reschedule the deadline to approve the nomination of the SURE project president. So Minu, Claire, Andreas, or Madison, if one of you would read the resolution for the Senate.
Thank you. All right. Whereas Article 10, Section 6B of the Constitution of the Undergraduate Student Body of the University of Notre Dame du Lac prescribes that the president of the SURE project shall be nominated by the Financial Management Board before November 1st of each year and approved by the Senate. Whereas the president of the SURE project in the past year unofficially began to function as president in April 2021 instead of November 2021, as prescribed in the Constitution of the Undergraduate Student Body of the University of Notre Dame du Lac, ordered by the Student Senate of the University of Notre Dame du Lac, that Article 10, Section B, 1 of the Constitution of the Undergraduate Student Body is hereby amended to read as follows. The president of the SURE project shall be nominated by the Financial Management Board and approved by the Senate prior to May 1st of each year. It is so ordered.
Great, thank you. Any questions for the authors to begin? We're also joined by, I believe, the SURE project vice president. Very excited to have you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Questions for the author? Is there a motion to move to debate then? Abraham?
I move to a motion to move to debate.
Is there a second? All those in favor of ending questioning and moving to a debate, please raise your hand. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Cool. So we are now in debate on the order. Any points of debate for this order? And yes, Matt.
So after this came out of ComCon, we realized that there may be confusion on when the new president actually starts based off of when they would be nominated to the Senate. So we think it would be a good idea to add a slight amendment to basically include language to the fact that they wouldn't start serving in that role until after the unveiling. I can't make that motion.
Can I make that motion?
You're also a non-voting member.
Nice.
If all of the authors agree, but is Andreas here?
He's not.
Okay.
Point of order, is Andreas a member of the Senate? Because if not, his name can't be on this, and so his agreement wouldn't be necessary.
He is not a member of the Senate.
Right.
And same with
Those
theirs,
two,
yeah.
yeah, they should do.
I have to amend. Do I have to like seek a motion to amend, or can I just?
That was my fault.
Okay. All right. Because these are not members of the Senate, they are removed from the order. And we have two authors. Do the authors agree to the amendment?
I agree.
What is the text of the amendment?
I will try to.
Okay, while you work on getting the text together, any other points of debate on this motion? Now with added sort of start date to the term, I would welcome any insight from the SURE project that you have.
I mean, if the date needs to be earlier, like in like the middle of April, let's say, because typically the unveiling is until the end of April, around then. So the acting SURE president will continue his or her duties up and through the unveiling, and then the elected will take over. So if the approval date, because I think the last day of classes this year is the 26th or 27th, and I don't know if you guys meet past that date, but if the approval date is May 1st, then that can be an issue. So if you need to move the date up to have the approval done, and then like the president takes over after unveiling, like that specific language, like that's totally fine.
The text of the potential amendment that has just been added is the incoming president shall start their term after the unveiling of the SURE.
Is the unveiling of the shirt the best terminology, or is there like a shirt unveiling?
Okay, sure. Unveiling is, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is the text of the amendment acceptable to both authors? Yes? Okay. So the friendly amendment is made. It should be now in your copies of the order that you'll be able to see it. Any points of debate or discussion? Abraham.
I ask unanimous consent to invite debate and move to vote.
Are there any objections? Hearing none, we move from debate into voting. All those in favor of the passage of SO 2122-14, please raise your hands. All opposed? All abstaining? Cool. Thank you all very much. The order passes. Abraham.
Motion to move SO 2122-16 of the general orders.
The motion is to move an order from new business into general orders in order to appoint the senator for the rest of the term. There has been a second. All those in favor of moving the order to general orders? All opposed? Any abstentions? Two abstentions. Okay. The motion carries, and I will work to get that up in general orders. All right. Not what I need to do. SO 21.216, in order to appoint Senator David, would you read the order?
Sure. In order to appoint a senator to serve the rest of the term.
Ben,
I actually mean consent.
is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion carries. We're now in questioning. Are there any questions for David about this order? Ben.
Yeah, so when there's less than 8 weeks left in a term, instead of having a vacancy election when a seat becomes vacant, the Senate can appoint somebody to fill that seat. So what we traditionally do is ask all precedent for candidates and say represent their community, and the Senate appoints them.
Great. Abraham?
I ask unanimous consent to move out of questioning on to debate.
Are there any objections? Any other questions for David? Hearing none, the motion carries. We're now in debate. Are there any points of discussion or debate on this order? Please. Abraham?
I ask unanimous consent to move out of debate and on to voting.
Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion carries, and we're now in voting procedure. All those in favor of the passage of SO 21.2216, please raise your hand. All opposed and all abstain. Great. Abraham.
Motion to move nomination for 2020 to 2023 student union treasurer onto general orders.
Is there a second to move the nomination of the assistant student union treasurer, or rather of the student union treasurer, to general orders? All those in favor of moving the nomination up in the order, please raise your hands. Any opposed? And any abstentions? Great. The motion carries. Sorry, you know what's going on. No, I am. I'm hitting Control Z instead of Control X. That's the problem. Fantastic.
Struggle's real.
Yeah. All this newfangled technology. Minu, would you mind reading the nomination letter for clerk?
Good. Dear Senate, as stated in the undergraduate constitution of the University of Notre Dame, the student union treasurer shall recommend to the student senate a student union treasurer. At this time, I'm pleased to extend my full recommendation to Claire for this position. Claire is a junior majoring in both accounting and music. She's an active member of the Notre Dame community, serves as a leader in PRISM ND, and a mentor in ND's LGBTQ mentorship program. Participates in liturgical choir and engages in coursework and projects that exemplify her expertise on subject matters relevant to the position of a student union treasurer as an accounting teaching assistant. She has also been involved in prominent accounting internship programs through PwC and the IRS. Her prior work, diverse interests, and experiences in serving the Notre Dame community through various channels make her a great candidate for this position. Over the past year, Claire has vastly contributed to the Treasurer's Office and FMB. She has been a crucial contributor to discussions by the Office of the Student Union Treasurer, shared valuable insight when evaluating the Shirt Charity Fund application, and has had the experience of attending the annual spring allocation and winter spending review meeting. Claire has successfully instilled confidence in the members of the financial board, management board, to be stewards of the various funds, which the board has been assigned to manage. Claire is not only qualified to handle the financial and administrative duties of the position, but also brings the empathy and compassion required to administer the reviews of various applications. I have been beyond impressed with her commitment to her current position, as well as the insights she provides. I should have been fired a long time ago and nominated Claire. I can recommend this student without reservation because of her passion to become more involved in the Notre Dame community and to assist the Office of the Student Union Treasurer to be more efficient. I am requesting that the Senate approve her nomination as a result of her extensive qualifications and her level of commitment to effectively contributing to the experiences of Notre Dame students. Thank you for your time and your consideration. Respectfully submitted.
I believe there's questions for the candidate now. Are there any questions for Claire about her nomination? Ben.
Just a general question. What are your personal priorities for next year in FMB?
Sure. I mean, I want to help. I mean, obviously, I think that FMB needs to be a group that's led by someone that is able to be, that's able to kind of unite all these different groups that we have and effectively lead meetings and whatnot. So that's like the main thing I want to focus on. As for further development of the office, I want to upgrade like the utilities in the office. So I want to get I'd like to try to get more equipment there so that in the future we could keep better financial records and be more organized.
Any other questions? Do you have a favorite TV show from the channel?
Do I'd say I watched a lot of Scooby-Doo when I was young.
There you go.
Like the hard-hitting questions there, Maddie.
Thomas has a question about the any plans you might have with the church charity fund going forward.
So Mina and I were discussing some plans this year. I think I'd like to leave it kind of as is, as we've kind of made changes for we talked about kind of how like OSC now can step in and say like and provide sorry, not step in, but OSC can if you refer to the charity fund by OSC, you don't need to submit any paperwork for you don't need to talk about your financial needs, because stuff like that just makes it a bit more streamlined and easy, and also just like making it so that people don't need to perform their poverty or whatnot. Yeah, and I think that the changes that Mina made were really great. I think that I'd like to keep yeah, also thank you, and I'd like to keep going with this change.
Any further questions? Abraham?
I ask unanimous consent to move out of questioning and into debate.
All right. Are there any objections to moving to debate? Hearing none, the motion carries. Claire, I'm gonna have to ask. Thank you. Are there any points of debate on the nomination of Claire? Okay.
Motion to end debate, move to vote. Second.
There's a second. All those in favor of moving to voting procedure, please raise your hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? So we're now in voting on the nomination of Claire Sisson. All those in favor of approving Claire to the position of Student Union Treasurer, please raise your hand. All opposed? And any abstentions? The nomination is confirmed. So, you know, if we convey. Congratulations, Claire. Okay, so there is a motion to reconsider SO 21-22-14 and amend the amendment, which would read: the president of the SURE project shall be nominated by the Financial Management Board and approved by the Senate prior to May 1st of each year. The incoming president shall start their term the day following the official unveiling of the previous term's shirt, which capitalizes the second referenced president, clarifies which iteration of the shirt commences the term and the particular day. Is there a second to the motion? What is the voting? Not hearing.
Second.
Okay. There has been a second. All those in favor of reconsidering. All those in favor of reconsidering the order, please raise your hands. All those opposed, please raise your hands. Wow, we gotta vote, people. All abstentions. Cool. A lot of you didn't vote at all.
Just a question for the authors. Do you two see this as fruitful?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because so in the most recent semester, so in November, we were presented the nomination for the shared project. Even though they were kind of officially acting the role anyway. So like it's kind of weird because if FMB were to say no to the nomination for the president, but that person has already been doing work, so like what would you do that? So having the deadline so late was not a productive use of that time. So we want to move it up earlier.
Okay. The motion to reconsider requires a 2/3 vote. There was, I think, 2 people who voted, and they were equally split.
I might have seen a vote. As well.
Okay, we're going to redo that vote. All those in favor of reconsidering the order, please raise your hand. Great. All opposed? Any abstentions? But the motion carries. We are now back in debate on the motion, on the order.
Yeah.
This is my first reconsider.
Yeah.
So
So I can add comments to suggested link.
And is the suggested language is cool with both the authors? While we wait for the friendly amendment to be put in the text. Anyone got any fun plans?
I'm going to Jay's after for 60-cent wings.
Oh, nice. 60-cent wings.
Yeah, they have 60-cent wings on Wednesdays.
Nice.
Like per wing.
Yeah. It's cheap per wing. Yeah.
Are you driving there?
Yeah.
It's hard to get Uber back.
What?
It's hard to get
Oh,
Uber
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Brothers is 40 cents.
What?
Brothers is 40 cents.
Is it really?
Okay.
But are their wings good though?
Oh,
No. Because Jason's a pretty good wings.
So I believe the language has been submitted. Is the language, we're in debate, so are there any further points of discussion or debate on the amended language? And this was procedurally done as a friendly amendment with the both authors agreed. So.
Paul, this could be the wrong thing saying here, but motion to move from debate to a vote. Is that
Great.
because we're in debate right now? Okay.
Second.
There is a second. All those in favor of moving out of debate and into voting, please raise your hand. All opposed? All abstaining? Great. The motion carries. And we are in voting procedure. All those in favor of the passage of the amended language to SO, the 14th order, please raise your hand. All opposed? And any abstentions? Oh, the motion carries, and the amended order is passed. New business. Any new business that the Senate would like to talk about, public comment, stuff like this? Ben?
So, one thing I am working on, and I'm gonna be meeting on Friday in the student government offices, executive people, just by a show of hands, how many people in this room have found it slightly difficult to like solicit input from constituents, people in their halls, to like come up with things to talk about, since we've only talked about like 5 total things this entire year? Anybody? Okay, so basically what I'm proposing is looking into some way to maybe collect information from students, because a survey was done by a first-year student earlier this year. He just interviewed 100 or so people in front of South Dining Hall, and the data he gathered suggests that there are things that students want the student union to do, and also that the students don't know what the student union exactly does. So basically, my takeaway was we might need to think about how could we moving forward better communicate what we do, the Senate, what exec cab does, and how can people get in touch with us if they have questions. So that's basically what this kind of is tackling in general, in a nutshell. So that meeting is on Friday. You don't have to come to the meeting. I can just share the text of the order I started writing with you if you're interested. So just let me know.
Very good. David.
A while ago, I presented an order to amend the election committee's jurisdiction with respect to sanctioning people for due lot violations. We were waiting on a meeting with OCS to learn some details about that, but I got that meeting, we got the information, and that should be coming through ComCon soon and back here.
Veronica.
Department of Sustainability is meeting with more to talk about energy.
Yes.
If anyone in here has a sibling who is a senior who's graduating and you want to stay in your dorm at graduation, you have to submit a form. I believe it was emailed to you today, or you can come ask me and I'll find the link right after this. But if you just want to share that with people in your dorm as well, you have to stay in the form if you'd like to stay in your dorm as they graduate if you're staying here.
That's due today.
No, I just,
Okay.
like, I think the link was sent out today. I'll look right.
Thank you. Other new business? Cool. We can move right into announcements. Any upcoming events? Paul.
For sophomores, we're doing our Candygram sale. If you are a sophomore, then whether you know it or not, your parents have probably already bought you a Candygram. So just keep on the lookout. Should not keep you from buying one yourself.
Today is the kickoff of our San Hall's big fundraiser for the year, Mullets Against Malaria. I only get to cut my hair. So if you see anybody walking around campus with a bunch of mullets, just know we're not trying to redo the 80s. We're trying to collect money to buy malaria nets to help undeveloped countries combat malaria. If you guys would help to donate or would like the link, just come to see me afterward. That would be great. Can non-voting members speak your announcements, or do I have to yield?
This is the most relaxed portion of the Senate meeting, so if there's a non-voting member that would love to talk.
Hi guys, I'm Taven, by the way. You probably see me here. I represent youth policy during like Senate meetings usually, and right now I'm working on an initiative within youth policy to change the student body initiative. So I'll be submitting like a constitutional amendment soon. So if that's something like you're interested in working on, of course I will need a sponsorship because I cannot write resolutions or amendments. So please reach out to me. I can send my email to Maddie.
David.
It's still elections, believe it or not. Past council fishing starts Friday, so I still don't endorse people.
Jake, did you have something? I saw you.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so for anyone that is attending the Keenan Review this weekend, the show starts at 7 and it starts promptly at 7. So we advise that you be there between like 6:30 and 6:45. There are like pre-show like skits and songs and stuff like that. So definitely get there ahead of time because there's about 2,000 people each night.
So this only applies to some of you, but the student union transition is occurring basically right now. So if you didn't see the email from the Judicial Council email, your transition plans need to be submitted by March 1st to my email or the Judicial Council email. And you should have also gotten an email to schedule a meeting with me. If you have not scheduled it, please do so. And if none of the times that are available work for you, please reach out to me and get that meeting scheduled.
Like as a note on that, I'm meeting with and preparing documents for the next chairperson of the Senate. But I encourage you all, residence hall senators, keep an eye on the elections happening in your dorms, meeting with the winners to sort of talk over how you experience the Senate and any sort of parting wisdom that you have for them, unless you're coming back. So, Alan.
Yeah, I'll make subs announcements, and I'll make one announcement. So it's not here. So cafes this Thursday. They're handing out Valentine's like the ones you have from your childhood. Not sure what that means. I'm just reading at this point. From 5:30 to 7 on Thursday, Cupid's Carnival and La Fun Ballroom. There's going to be a photo booth where you can decorate picture frames. You'll print your photo, and then there's cookies and candy grams. That's Thursday from 5:30 to 7. Then on Monday, from 12 to 2, there's buns and roses, but rose buds giveaway at HackFam. And they're giving away roses and bud cakes. And executive director applications for sub are due Monday. Please apply if that's something you're interested in. And then my announcement is Black History Month, so happy Black History Month.
Okay. Other announcements? Is there a motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? All those in favor? All opposed? Any abstentions? Have a good evening, everybody.
Alan, absolutely not.